So the other day I was scrolling on Instagram, I was bored. I had nothing else to do. And as I'm scrolling, I get this one reel. Sorry, I have to make sure it's faced the right way. Got this one reel of Zeke from High School Musical and how he was always getting ignored or getting made fun of for no reason. And that made me want to watch the movie.
Zeke is baking creme brulee.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, it's a creamy custard-like filling with a caramelized surface. It's really satisfying.
So I watched it, and honestly, I was surprised by what I watched. And call me crazy, there's some biblical representation in this movie. So we're gonna waste no more time. Psalm 118, verse 24. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. So the movie starts out with our main character, Troy. I low-key forgot his last name. I'll just put that up right now. But basically, it's New Year's Eve. He's playing basketball with his dad. His mom finds them. He's like, yo, we gotta go to a party. Troy, you can go to that youth party. Troy's like, no, Mom, I don't want to. Because, he's the cool kid. But he ends up going. He gets called up to sing, and so does some other girl. But they both have another side to them. Gabriella being really smart, and Troy being on the basketball team, and being the star pupil on that basketball team. Alright, so then on the first day back at school, because this was after a New Year's Eve Christmas break, Troy sees Gabriella there. She's the new girl, by the way. It's low-key vital. If you're watching the movie, probably not for this video. But Troy ends up getting them both detention. And something to know, the teacher who gave him detention is the same teacher who directs the theater stuff. I think they're called a director, theater person. So anyway, now they both have detention, and for their detention, instead of just sitting there in the classroom, she has them paint sets. Yeah. I don't think that's how detention works. Anyway, Troy's dad ends up finding out. He gets mad. Fast forward a little bit. There's this sign-up sheet for musical auditions, and Troy's like, "You're gonna sign up, Gabriella?" Gabriella's like, "No, are you?" Troy's like, "No." So then fast forward a little more. There ends up having a free period, which just happened. It's not scheduled. I don't really think, how do you just get a gap in your schedule? I understand if a class just does nothing, but how do you just, get this random gap all of a sudden? Because that's what I think is happening. I might be wrong, so I don't know. Troy's basketball team is having an extra practice, right? But instead of going, Troy low-key sneaks off to go watch the theater auditions. And at the end of the auditions, he runs into Gabriella. And then out of nowhere, she's like, "I want to sing," to the audition lady, the same theater technician person. She's like, "Too late, all the solo parts are taken." And then Troy's like, "I'll audition with her." But the theater technician lady is like, "No. The time already went by," which I respect. I mean, time etiquette, guys. You can't just show up late and expect to be given an audition that then counts. But anyway, they sing a song. They sing the song that they would have sung if they auditioned. But I mean, it's already too late to advance, so.
Bolton, Montez, you have a callback. Kelsey, give them the duet from the second act. Work on it with them.
Okay, never mind. I don't think that's how it should work, but not my movie. Anyway, now eventually people find out, and it puts this whole school in a craze. And that's gonna lead into this next song, which I can't play, but I will sing. I hope you enjoy. You can bet there's nothing but net when I am in a zone and on a roll. But I've got a confession, my own secret obsession, and it's making me lose control. Everybody gather around. Well, if Troy can tell his secret, then I can tell mine. I bake. What? I love to bake strudels, scones, and even apple bendemi. Not another sound. Someday I hope to make the perfect creme brulee. No, 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 no. Stick to the stuff you know. If you wanna be cool, follow one simple rule. Don't mess with the flow, no, no. Stick to the status quo. I hope you enjoyed that. So did y'all hear what they were telling my boy Zeke in the chorus? Let me read it out for you. They were saying, no, 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 no. Stick to the stuff you know. If you want to be cool, follow one simple rule. Don't mess with the quo no. Stick to the status quo. They're telling Zeke to submit to this status quo, which was not instilled by anyone but the students. Not just Zeke, there's also Martha, who's a really smart girl, but she also likes to breakdance. And also Skater Dude. Yeah, that's his real name, Skater Dude, who's a skater who also likes to play the cello. Okay, so what's the point I'm trying to make with any of this? Well, in the Bible, there is this group of religious people who are called the Pharisees. So what the Pharisees did was interpret the law of Moses. Except, here's the thing, they ended up adding secondary oral laws to them. So for instance, for the fourth commandment, it is written by Moses told from God, keep the Sabbath holy and abstain from work, in a much more, better sounding way. But Jesus confronted them on these certain things that they kept trying to enforce. Okay, so in the Bible, there's this part where Jesus is about to heal a man on the Sabbath. And the Pharisees see this and they're like, wait, are you about to do work on the Sabbath? And Jesus replies with, is it against God's law to do good on the Sabbath? And obviously it's a rhetorical question. The answer is no. It is not against God's law to do good on the Sabbath. Yes, one can do good on the Sabbath. So you see, not everything is work. What God simply meant was, in modern terms, abstain from your 9 to 5, pick a rest day. So the Pharisees ended up having like a false interpretation of God's commands, which led to man-made traditions. And they enforced these traditions as if they were sent from God. But of course they weren't. They were made by man. So you see the problem? The Pharisees tried to define something they did not make instead of listening to the actual law that God gave them. Now correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I only spent 4 years of my life in high school, but there is not anything against a person being a basketball player and a theater guy. There's nothing against anyone doing 2 different school activities at once. That's just simply not in the school code of conduct. So you see what happened? Someone started enforcing this idea that jocks can't be singers, singers cannot be jocks. There are certain things that you cannot do because they go against the rules. For instance, you can't skip class, you can't skip mandated practices, and you can't start fights. But playing basketball and singing does not contradict any of those rules, unless it causes something to shift in that person, which would make them to, break the rules. Talk about him for a second. SHARPAY, the Pharisee of this movie. Do you know why? Because she enforces rules that aren't made by a higher power. And many other people start doing so because SHARPAY is the super rich and popular and powerful girl in the school. So everybody thinks, oh yeah, let's do what she says. SHARPAY and the Pharisees both have some things in common. Their love for the spotlight. Jesus mentions how the Pharisees love to get, polite greetings and be called rabbi. They love to be honored, but they don't like to honor others. And SHARPAY does the same thing. In the movie, it stated SHARPAY would even, betray her own brother just so she could have the spotlight to herself. Guys, SHARPAY is not above the school. She is a student. She did not create the school code of conduct. Therefore, she has no right to change what is in it. Just like how the Pharisees did not create the law of Moses. So just like the Pharisees, she imposes these rules that were not written in the school code of conduct or the law of Moses. And that is why I think this movie is super cool, because you might not realize it, but there are so many movies out there that are hiddenly biblical. And High School Musical is just one of them. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. God bless. I don't know why it was so hard to find specific scenes, like Troy's mom telling Troy to go to the youth party. Well, I know there wasn't that much footage, but I hope the final product was, you liked it. I hope you liked it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I misspoke. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time, as I said. God bless.